Hi everybody, your friendly neighborhood Migs here from MigsTCG, and today I want to bring you another Pokemon video. For those of you who are new and don't know much about me, I really love the Pokemon TCG. Why? You might be wondering. Well, Pokemon TCG actually has a lot of beautiful illustrations. I've said in many videos before that it's one thing that the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG severely lacks, and that is the full arts, the special illustrations, and Pokemon seems to have an abundance of this. Now, today I kind of want to bring you a list of my top 10 special illustration cards from the Pokemon TCG. So number 10 would be Moltres, Zapdos, and Articuno GX. Now, if you look at this card, it looks like a stained glass, which is usually found in churches, things like that. And it seems to fit the motif of these three Pokemon since they have been one of the most recognizable legendaries for the longest time now, so ever since the start of Blue and Red. I mean, that's how most of us started playing these games. This our introduction to Pokemon, and the fact that it just got immortalized in such a way in the stained glass effect, it just makes it look so much beautiful. Or so beautiful. Sorry about that. Number 9 would be Mewtwo. One of my favorite Pokemons, if not my most favorite Pokemon ever. Number 9 card would be Mewtwo GX. It kind of shows the origins of Mewtwo. It's Mewtwo suspended in like floating liquid, and it seems to be the creation of Mewtwo in a lab. You can see screens that show like Mewtwo's like physical attributes and stuff like that, like almost like a Michael, but in Mewtwo, kind of like expanded, arms open, stuff like that. I really enjoy that art. Mewtwo has been a Pokemon that has captivated me for the longest time because he was a Pokemon that was created by people. And as a Pokemon that was created by people, he always kind of lacked the purpose or just lacked the motive as to why he's living. He's a very relatable Pokemon, at least to me, and maybe to some of you as well. But I feel like my top choice for number 9 is Mewtwo GX. Number 8 would be Psyduck, but not just any Psyduck card. There's a special illustration card of Psyduck where he is representing the art of the Scream, where he's kind of like holding his cheeks and going crazy, and there's like Hunter and Gengar behind him, scaring him, and seems to be the reason why. Now, if you're an art lover like I am, and my wife is as well, you will recognize the Scream as one of the most classic works of art. And the fact that Pokemon Company chose to represent it in a card with Psyduck, it just seems to be very fitting. Psyduck seems to be one of those Pokemon who is always either getting in trouble or getting scared. And on top of that, he always has headaches. So the fact that he's holding his little head and going crazy is just amazing. My pick for number 7 would be Giratina V from Lost Origin, where it seems like he's traversing through a sea of darkness, almost like an alternate dimension type of feel to it. As we all know, or as some of you might know, Giratina has always been a Pokemon that is always in the undergrounds. He's always trapped in a dimension of darkness itself, maybe even reversed, and Giratina is a master of this realm. Now in this card, Giratina almost seems to be traversing through the realm as he would usually do, but there's something just beautiful about it. The darkness, the colors that surround it, it kind of just brings a beautiful balance of Giratina and the dimension that he lives in. So that would be why it would be my pick for number 7. For number 6, we are going back to Jurassic Park. Not really, but hear me out. The number 6 Pokemon card is going to be Aerodactyl V from Lost Origin, and it's a card that depicts Aerodactyl flying through what seems to be a very prehistoric, very of his own habitat. I really enjoy that card. Aerodactyl has been a really cool Pokemon since its introduction in Pokemon Blue and Red, and it's been a Pokemon that's, I don't know, it needs some more love. And I feel like Aerodactyl in this card is getting some of the love that it deserves. Not quite enough though, but this is a good start. And Aerodactyl itself has always been like the master of the skies. So the fact that he's kind of soaring through with an unobstructed path is just, it seems very reminiscent of like either a very powerful person or a gangster, kind of just saying like, yeah, these are my lands, these are my skies, you all just live under my protection. And that's kind of why I really like this card for number 6. Number 5 would be Rayquaza VMAX. However, it's the Rayquaza VMAX that depicts him above in the stratosphere with kind of Cinia giving her back to us. It's a really cool image, very powerful as well. It seems that Cinia from the Dragon Tribe always really tried to kind of reel in Rayquaza, and Rayquaza never really accepted her much. Even in the game where she appears, it's pretty common that she tries to fight you for control of Rayquaza, but then she just ends up losing to the main character. Her story is kind of sad because she does end up sacrificing herself, but it's a Pokemon game, so she never really actually sacrifices herself. But I feel like in this art with Cinia, she seems like she finally achieved her goal of taming Rayquaza and using him for her purposes. It just seems very fitting, and I really like the art on this one, especially Rayquaza just being massive and being able to see him from the ground just to where he's at in the stratosphere is just pretty cool. So that's my pick for number 5, the Protector of the Skies and its rightful owner. Number 4 would be Cynthia's Ambition, the card where it's almost like she's walking through the ruins of Sinnoh. As we all know, Cynthia has been a Pokemon archaeologist for the longest, as well as a Pokemon champion. But we all see her as a strong, capable female with one of the toughest teams to beat in Diamond and Pearl games. But here we get to see the other side of her, the scholarly side, the curious side, the adventurous side. Whereas we all know and love her for her strength, here it emphasizes on just how much of a great archaeologist she is. And Cynthia has always been a fan favorite character of mine since her introduction in Diamond and Pearl. So number 4 for me would be Cynthia. For cards number 3, 2, and 1, I debated whether I wanted to put each of these cards in a separate slot or just in one single slot for their own. However, I did realize that these cards, even though they do tell a story and very much progression, it's also each individual card is beautiful on its own and it tells a part of the story. So I wanted to give number 3 spot to Routes, number 2 to Kirlia, and number 1 to Gardevoir EX from the Paldea set. These cards essentially tell the story of a family, a very young family with moving to their house, maybe their first house, who knows, and they have a Route with them as a companion Pokemon. As their family expands, the Routes evolves into Kirlia, and I think it's seen in the Kirlia card that they have their first baby. And later on, when they are old and their family grew quite a bit, now they have a Gardevoir, and Gardevoir being the protector of their family. I mean, they are known for being very fierce protectors of their family or their trainers. It's a very fitting end to just that beautiful story of the cards. Something about me, I really love cards that tell a story like that, and it's just the progression and it's growth, and it's just a beautiful story, a beautiful message. Like, you can have your Pokemon be with you from the beginning all the way to the end. Those were my favorite top 10 illustration cards, well, current ones, because as new sets come out, new Pokemon illustrations come out, and the list just gets updated every so often. But if you feel like I missed any cards, or if you want to share your own cards with the community, please do so in the comments down below. I'm always looking forward to looking for new arts or variations of Pokemon cards that I have not been introduced to yet, or the community as well. In the meantime, please remember, videos come out Saturdays at 7, and don't wait for it to be a good day, let's make it a good day. Migs out.